Hi everyone, if you're new to my channel, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back. Magicians tier, you guys have a live tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so I look forward to seeing you guys. It's always a blast. And if you're interested in the classes I'm currently offering, I am offering a Manifestation Core Principles class and an Energy Experience Basics class. That class is good for anybody who is trying to experience energy or trying to learn how to see energy. So we always have a really fun time, so definitely come hang out with us if that's something you're interested in. If you check those links out at the Buy Me a Coffee link down in the description box and they're sold out, just check back in a few days because I do update those as we go along. So, okay, let's go ahead. This is a scroll from iScribe Steph. I'll have her channel linked in the description box. All right, taking a step aside. And allowing Spirit to pass through me. Opening up to receive information. Okay. When I was setting up for this reading, I did already get some information from the being that wants to connect in today. What I was shown was a particular painting that I did about 15 years ago, and so that's how I know who this is before I'm sitting here trying to open up to it. Some of you guys know that I'm a dark artist, and this is the image that was shown to me. This is a print of the painting that I did about 15 years ago. It depicts the choosing of Lilith by Samael. Now, if you're unfamiliar with that story, basically, Samael goes to the garden and finds Lilith weeping after her rejection by Adam, and he falls in love with her, and he basically takes her for his own. And this is the moment where Lilith goes from being the woman who's trying to assert her own opinions and her own desires and is rejected for that into the woman who kind of flourishes and becomes like this demonic seductress in the mythos. Very powerful and thus feared. So this is who is coming through for this reading. Okay, I'm being given symbols, so I guess we're starting off with symbols. And if you are new to my channel, the symbols don't mean that this is or isn't your reading, right? So even if these symbols don't resonate for you, it can still be your reading. It just means that the people who the symbols resonate for should pay extra attention. So the first symbol is the plague mast. The second is Pazuzu. I'm seeing like a stone statue of Pazuzu. A worry stone in the right pocket. The name Lily or Liliana. I think this is a pocket watch. It's either a locket or a pocket watch, but it's been handed down, and it's a bronze color. It's like it's a bronze color, like a worn bronze, like a dulled bronze color. And then a wooden rocking horse. I don't know if it's small or if it's big. It's just a wooden rocking horse, and then a willow tree, and then a crescent moon ring, and then that's it. That's it for the symbols. Okay. Okay, so the thing that you want in your life, the confidence, security, the assurance, the happiness, the freedom, they all require just one thing, that you stop limiting yourself by playing small. We as people, we back ourselves into corners, right? And we conceive ourselves as there's something wrong with us, and I have to fix this, I have to heal this, there's something just intrinsically wrong with me that needs fixed because I'm broken, or I'm this, or I'm that, or I'm not good enough, or all these things that we tell ourselves, all these narratives that we have, really. And not that there's anything wrong with knowing that there's a pattern that we have to fix, or there's a behavior that needs changed, or that we need to heal. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but we can sometimes be on that journey or in that line of thinking so long that it's actually perpetuating the smallness that we're playing into. And this is kind of a message that's coming through from her, is to pay attention to make sure that that's not you. Because whoever she's coming up for in this collective, it's like, I'm this way because I don't know how to be anything different. I don't even know that I'm allowed to be anything different. I don't even know that I am extremely powerful as a human being, which is why she keeps laughing. It's like, it's if you only knew how powerful you were, you wouldn't insist on being in this role or in this limitation or inside of this box or taking that behavior or placating this person or making them the main character in your story. If you only knew the vast amount of power that's contained inside of you, you wouldn't settle. She's giving me this energy of this is cultivating this space inside of us of, I can't be trusted. I can't be trusted, and I can't trust myself, right? I can't trust myself to make my own decisions, to navigate what I want to do, or to even decide. I can't trust myself to even make a choice. That's the energy that she's giving me. And it's like the energy beneath this is like the opinions and thoughts of everyone else have become so important that every verbal stab and off-colored comment and jab is like a direct attack that we have to almost go through this process of grieving, or that we have to fight through, right? And so we settle for placating or agreeing or living a life tossed around by what other people say we are or that we're supposed to be. Interesting, okay? And but she's giving me this other, like, it's like it's weird in the energy that she's giving me. It's almost like a little sun and broke through the clouds. She's saying that deep down inside you can conceive of a version of yourself that people listen to, that people respect. She said commands respect. A version of yourself that is successful and that is in fact healed. And that version gives no fucks. Because it's able to love without demanding that someone thinks like them, because it's not threatened by difference. It's not threatened by a difference of opinion or a disagreement. That version knows that things always work out in its favor. And that version has taken eyes off of what, like, come and go Carl is doing right now as he's making you wait around, or what Negative Nancy over here said about you, and it's placing those eyes back on itself. Ooh, and basically the energy she's giving me is that that's why we fear this aspect of ourselves. Because we know that it's ultra powerful and we fear that power. We also fear releasing the space that we feel allows us to be victims of everything that's going on outside of us, so that we don't have to take personal responsibility. And the version of yourself that has the things you want in life has to take responsibility for its life and step up to the plate. And this is why people fear it. So the message coming through from Lilith is that if you step into the version of yourself that you fear, you will become an unstoppable force. Ooh, I just got all the chills. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's pull some cards on this. This is a life lesson for somebody. This is a life lesson for somebody stepping into their power. Okay, and you guys know I turn my cards upright because I'm not necessarily reading tarot upright or reversed. I'm reading the archetypes. So here we go. In the far past, what we have is we have a lot of conflict. This is conflict between ourselves and others. I talked about this yesterday, I believe. I think, well, maybe I didn't. That might have been a personal reading. I call it war energy. It's where everybody outside of us is a threat and we have to protect, protect, protect. And this is the energy that we get into when we do feel disempowered, right? This is a very disempowered energy, and that's okay. That's okay, right? A lot of us start off in a place like this. And the thing is that this disempowerment, we don't understand how reactionary this kind of disempowerment makes us. It makes us extremely vulnerable and volatile. And this is what's showing up here with the Five of Wands to this Devil card. Okay, so the devil, you know, it represents the shadow. It represents things that we're bound to, reactions that we're bound to. It represents our own personal karma. If you're new to my channel, my take on karma is not that it has anything to do with other people. It ultimately has to do with our relationship to ourselves. So the reason why you may behave a certain way to another person or they behave that way to you is because each individual has an issue with themselves, first and foremost. And it's not until that gets cleared up that we integrate back into ourselves and come into alignment that karma is cleared. So this is what I'm seeing here. Somebody here has some conflicts. This is, you know, conflicts that we perceive taking place outside of ourselves, and, you know, we may always suspect the worst of people, for example. But this is because we also suspect the worst of ourselves, right? We don't necessarily trust ourselves. And so this is what we may be manifesting in our reality. So someone here, you manifest a lot of conflicts for yourself in terms of relationships, in terms of friendships, and the way that people generally behave. Now, when we get into our early life and we have experiences like that, that gets a little bit deeper. That's not the scope of what she's trying to talk about today. She's trying to talk today about stepping into your power and taking on a new narrative for yourself. yourself so that you can change things. And what she's implying right now with these two cards is along the lines of, we seem to be waiting for someone to save us in some way, or thinking that if we only do this, then we'll be healed. But that day never actually comes, because we always feel that there's more and more and more, because we haven't turned our eyes onto ourselves and made ourselves the main character. So we don't even recognize that, for some people, maybe you're healed enough, right? You're not necessarily going for 100% healed. You're looking for healed enough. And that doesn't mean that you stop healing. Healing is a journey that, if you are on a spiritual journey, this is a lifelong journey. We're always trying to heal something new, because we have experiences constantly, and we have to heal from those experiences, whether they seem to impact us in big ways or they seem to impact us in small ways. And this is an energy here where, for some of you, what is coming through is that you're healed enough, and it's okay for you to take your power back and to stand in that power. For others of you, this is about the need to stop waiting for someone to come rescue you. Especially if you are waiting around for somebody constantly, or you're always pining for somebody, or you're not putting yourself out there to create your own stability and to create your own abundance, or even to create your own security and your own comfort, right? When we're constantly looking for something else to make us feel like we belong or we're at home, this is an energy that is an us problem. It's not anything about the place that we are or where we find ourselves. We think that it is, but it's not. Once you develop those things inside of yourself, and you learn to love yourself, and you learn that you yourself are the powerful being and you are the structure of security inside of your life, you will never be someplace where you feel like you don't belong, even if everyone hates you. Right? If you've been with me for a while, I moved last fall. I purposefully moved someplace where I don't know anybody. I think I don't even know how close the closest person that I do know lives. I had a friend that had to drive an hour and a half to just come see me. I purposely moved someplace where I don't know anybody, and I'm completely happy here. I'm absolutely happy, and I feel like I'm at home. This place feels more like home than any place, and it's not because there's anything different about this place. It's because I've changed. Right? I've already made home inside of myself for a number of years, but I want to say it's even more since I've moved here. So this is absolutely possible for somebody. If you're trying to find a place where you fit in, your soul tribe, where you belong, you have to make sure that you belong with yourself first. This energy is trying to take you here. This is the whole point of this. This is the whole point of the message, is she's trying to help somebody who she keeps appearing to, who, maybe it's videos that you pass that mention Lilith. Maybe you keep hearing about her in songs, or, it just seems to come up. She's trying to speak to somebody, to help somebody and support somebody to step into their power. This is the magician. The magician doesn't settle for things. The magician, when things don't go the magician's way, he makes them go his way. Right? That's the attitude of the magician. That's the attitude of the master manifester, right? If there's something in my reality I don't like, I start by changing something within myself, and I let the reality align to me. Not everybody's there, right? Not everybody's going to be there, and that's absolutely fine. But the point is that she is trying to urge somebody to take that first step onto that path, which is an amazingly rewarding path, let me tell you. She's trying to get somebody to step onto that path first by giving themselves a space to be more than what they've allowed themselves to be. And again, like I said, this seems to be a life lesson for somebody. Here we have the Hierophant card. When we have Hierophant card, we always say this is higher level learning. I'd like to take that out of the idea of a university, and it's really about higher level learning about a law of consciousness. There's some sort of soul lesson or theme of consciousness that we are trying to work through, right? And this is one reason why Lilith appears out of the whole collective unconscious to come up and try to speak to somebody, is because she's trying to say, this area here where you felt rejected and you felt abandoned and you felt alone, you don't have to settle for this energy anymore. You don't have to abandon yourself. And she's trying to bring somebody into this energy of becoming who you are actually afraid to be. That version of you that's ultra powerful that we tend to shy away from because we're afraid of seeming proud. We're afraid of seeming arrogant because you had your head beat against the humility wall one too many times, which really, what happens when we have that happen? Haven't you noticed we tend to act a little bit more out of our ego because it's an imbalance? This is about integrating aspects of yourself and coming away from unhealthy spaces that maybe we don't necessarily realize that we're stuck in, because there are things that we want. There are things that our soul is trying to drive us towards. And one of them is stepping into our personal power. And when we deny ourselves stepping into our personal power because, that's not fair to everybody, and whatever it is that we make excuses for to be small, what we're doing essentially is we're doing a great disservice for us. This isn't the purpose of our life. This isn't why we're here. We're here to master this shit, right? And this is the magician. That's the magician. This is like what our souls sign up for. This is why the magician is the second card in the tarot. The first card is the fool. That's the soul carrying its little theme of consciousness baggage that has that pine cone on it. So it projects through the pineal gland, setting up this life. And then it comes through the gates of the magician where it takes on the sacred vow, the sacred oath to master this game. Right? Some of you might even resonate with the reading that I did about the Morrigan, where it was basically you're not meant to play the game, you're meant to break the game. Lilith is coming through with a very similar message, but from a different angle for a slightly different group of people, right? This is an energy that you don't have to think so small of yourself. You don't have to downplay yourself. In reality, when we do this energy, we're doing a great disservice to humanity. There are people out there waiting for you. They're waiting for you to step into your power so that you can help them, so that you can lead the way for them, so that you can help shine a light on the path in front of them. Because some people, unfortunately, the way that their lives are set up and the way that their path is going, they won't find it on their own, and they need somebody else to have been the trailblazer to kind of inspire them and motivate them and lift them up. Some of us didn't have anybody to help us, right? And that if you find yourself in a position where you're like, all this stuff is happening to me, and, spiritually, and, this is happening, I don't know how to make sense of something, and, nobody's around to help me, guess what? Nobody's supposed to be around to help you. You're meant to figure that out for yourself. You can do it. If I did it, you can do it. I guarantee you, if I did it as a hot mess as I was, you can do it. And this requires us to go inside. This requires us to go inside and do the deep dive. Few people will do this. Someone here, you are being guided to kind of sit in silence for a little while, and that maybe needs to be your first step, is to allow yourself to sit in silence just a little bit more, because there's some more thinking that needs to be done that doesn't have external energetic influence. Okay. And then here, what we have is when we have the Hermit card, it's followed by the Lovers. And the Lovers is the masculine feminine balance within us, the active versus receptive principles. Now, notice Lilith, what she was expected to be was ultra feminine, right? Subservient. I'm going to placate you. I'm going to, do whatever you want because you're in charge. And what she really was a female, that feminine energy that had a very strong masculine aspect. She was balanced. And so this is what we're seeing here. We're seeing the balance of the masculine and the feminine energies, and they're balanced beneath that sort of higher self. But this is really talking about balancing those two things, and it's when we balance those two things that we're whole and complete on our own. And that's the World card, and this is where things really transform for ourselves. This is the Death card. This is where the old version of us passes away and a new version is born. It's like being a phoenix rising from the ashes being the version of ourselves that kept us stuck, that kept us placating people. Whoever this message is for, please get yourself to a place where you are able to stop worrying so much about everyone else and that you worry more about you. If you're worried about what other people say and think, let me ask you a question. Why aren't they worried about you? Right? Sometimes we're very afraid of walking into public because we're like, oh, what are people going to think about me when I walk into this room? If you're one of those people that are really shy and self-conscious that way, ask yourself the question, why are you worried about them? Why aren't they worried about you? It's all a matter of perspective, right? And you don't have to put this perspective on, I'm not good enough. What if I don't stack up? What if I don't measure up? And again, the laughing, and it just reminds me of the laughter earlier. It's if you only knew how damn powerful you are, you wouldn't even worry about this stuff. It's all an illusion. It is all absolutely an illusion. And the message from Lilith for whoever the collective is that she's trying to reach is get out of the illusion. You don't need it. It's not serving you. Step into the version of yourself that you're afraid to be, and you will be an unstoppable force. So this is the message. I hope it resonates for you. If it does, please hit that like button, and until next time.